Hi everyone, my name is Mark Deary and I'm coming to you from inside today because it is raining outside and I had to remake the video from yesterday, and so I'm going to do it from inside. Yeah, yesterday I was talking about how I made a short film, so I guess this will be making a short film take two, because yeah, yesterday I had just put fresh batteries actually into the receiver, so all I can think in my head is either they were dud batteries because they were brand new, like out of a pack where I'd put other ones in, or otherwise maybe I like took out the dead batteries, took out the new batteries, and then put the dead batteries back in. I don't know. When I turned the receiver on, it was full batteries, so who knows? But technical glitches, you got to roll on, and that's what I did yesterday. So today I'm rolling on and doing take number two, talking about making a short film yesterday. And it's funny because I made the film. It's only 30 seconds, so it was only super small, and a great kind of stepping stone into doing something narrative, which I haven't done in quite a while since I made something narrative. I mean, I used to do much longer form stuff with a lot of planning, whereas this didn't have, a lot of planning, like a little bit of thinking, and we just did it. And again, like I said yesterday, it was just me and Candice. So there was no one behind the camera, just like right now, there's no one behind the camera. So it was just us, you know, doing what we had to do in the film, and that was it. And it was for a competition. So yeah, if you haven't been following my videos, then you're probably like, what is this guy talking about? Right now, I'm making a feature-length documentary. You can't see my computer, but just here at my computer, um, called Confessions of a Failed Filmmaker. I've never edited a documentary before, but it's been 20 years this year in 2025 since I made my first feature film, or directed my first feature film. That was back in 2005. So crazy times, a long time ago. I was 22 when we were making it, and it was November when we premiered. I was 23, and I'm 43 now. So it's been quite a while. Anyway, so I've been making these videos every day, and my goal while working on the documentary is to make like 100 videos in 100 days, just following what I'm doing while I edit the documentary. So, and I guess share process and share ideas, things I'm thinking about. I'm on long service leave from work, and I've talked about this in a million videos. But yeah, basically, like I've got a couple of months where I can do a project. So I thought, well, this will be a great project. I have time to share my work and time to work on the documentary. So anyway, meanwhile, a thing came up for a competition where I could make a 30-second short film and put it up. And I thought, oh, that'll be great. Just a fun narrative project. So yesterday I talked about it for about a minute before my audio cut out. And so I thought today maybe I could just talk for a little bit just about the idea of doing narrative shorts and shorts in general. Because yeah, for me and Candice, it's funny. One of the things that got me into filmmaking in the first place. I mean, I'd always loved movies, always, and I still love movies. I think movies, closest thing you can get to dreams. And I love movies because it's the perfect amount of time. I feel like it's so analogous to like Primal Man. Like sit around 2 hours, perfect amount of time after the sun goes down and everyone's eating dinner to tell a story, then everyone go to bed. So like nighttime, after dinner, kick on a movie. It's just perfect. It's primal. And I love that movies, it's like just the right amount of time to have a lesson. Like short films can still say something, but I feel like I've never seen a short film where I was like, wow, I really learned from that. And maybe I just haven't seen the right short films, but I've seen thousands, probably tens of thousands of short films. Short films can definitely make you feel something. They can absolutely evoke an emotional response. And that was the goal of this one, in 30 seconds to evoke an emotional response. So it's not like I'm saying short films aren't superior. Aren't good, but I do think feature films are superior to just teach you a life lesson. It's like when you're a little kid, you need to learn the lesson, like don't put a knife in the toaster. And when you put a knife in the toaster, you get electrocuted or whatever, but it's like, this is important. And it's like, I feel like a movie can give you those lessons in almost a visceral way, not always visceral, but it's certainly like you can see it in a movie and you can learn the lesson. And I think half of the values I have are values I learned from movies, and I guess TV as well. But TV is more of a character study. So, well, what will this character do in this situation? But back in when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was born in 1982. So we got that period in the late 80s and early 90s of very family friendly, like traditional nuclear family shows on TV. So we watched a lot of stuff like that when we were kids as well. So I guess that sort of gets into your value system. But I think movies, the lessons they can teach you are really important. And I love feature films. So we got into making feature films because I saw Clerks, loved it. Saw El Mariachi, Robert Rodriguez's first feature film, loved it. And on the DVD of that, I talked about this in another video, but on the DVD of that, he makes a thing called the 10-minute film school. And so I saw that and it was like, you can go make a feature film. Anyone can do it. And I don't know why. I was just at the time, I guess I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this. And I knew someone who had a mini DV camera that I could borrow. So we borrowed a camera and just went and shot. And so it's weird, like that I never thought I should probably make some short films first. I think all I'd ever seen was feature films. I mean, I'd seen short films, but like my whole life I'd loved feature films. So I think I just thought, well, what's stopping me from making one? And so, yeah, so that was 20 years ago. We made our first feature. And, after that, you just want to improve. So we made another one, and then we made another one, we made another one. And I do think making shorts would have made more sense. When I did my master's degree in film, my supervisor even said to me, like, because I handed him a feature film screenplay, like, this is what I'm going to do for my thesis film. And he was like, why don't you just do like one scene really well? And in retrospect, I think he was probably right. But I love that feature film. I mean, it's average because we did a whole feature film and we could have just focused on one, section and made it amazing. But I don't know. For me, it's much more about the lesson. There's a lesson in it and the themes than it is necessarily about production quality. I mean, I've always aspired to the highest possible production quality, but I've never considered that more important than the story, And I think that's why shorts are kind of intimidating me, to be honest. I think I have a bit of fear around short films because I've never done them. I mean, I've seen a lot of them, and I've said this in a lot of videos. For 11 years, I worked in like corporate videos and film sort of thing, advertising and corporate videos. Did a bunch of TV ads, a bunch of corporate videos. While on the side doing narrative feature films, I've done 3 finished feature films and 5 feature film productions too. We never finished. And I'll talk about that all in the documentary. But for the last 10 years, I've been a teacher. So I'm on long service leave now, having done 10 years of teaching. And I'm working on, this documentary and just relaxing and reflecting, on 11 years of film and almost 11 years of teaching. It's like, okay, well, that's 20 years. 20 years since my first feature film. What do I like? What do I care about? How do I feel about these things? What are my thoughts around this stuff? And I'm just exploring it all for myself, So anyway, that was a big, long way of getting to the fact, and nothing that I said in yesterday's video. So it's funny how you just can't make the same video twice. But I made a short film, take 2. So I was like, yeah, I want to make a short film. And I've said this in a few of my videos. I haven't really elaborated on it, but I am today now, it turns out. So I am interested in making a really high quality short film, like just because for me, that is a new medium. I mean, I guess the medium is film. It's a new format to what I'm used to and what I've spent a lot of my life. Like, I mean, you can't see the books on the wall, but I've got a ton of books about screenwriting structure, writing a screenplay, but I've got maybe one book about writing a short film. Oh God, I'd have to go hunting. I don't know if I'd be able to see it at a glance. No, I can't see it. I have Roberta, what's her last name? I can't even remember. Her book about it's called How Not to Make a Short Film, and it's a good book. But yeah, there's not a lot of books about making short films. So again, usually it's like you do short films to experiment and learn, and then you move on to do feature films. So because we started with independent feature films, I kind of just skip shorts. But I never really got good at shorts because I've made like 2 shorts in my life. I think we did one 48-hour film festival short. And we made another short. I've done web series, but even those, I feel like they're a bit, I guess they're a short film format, but if it's going to be kind of a series, then, because this year in January, I had a short film in a film festival. We were an official selection in a film festival. But it was kind of like, I think of it as one episode and that format that you can repeat. And we made 3 episodes in the same format. So even though it's a self-contained narrative short, so I guess that is a short film as well. But yeah, so anyway, competition came up. Thought, yeah, low stakes, couple shots, 30 seconds, go for it. So we shot that yesterday and it was fun. And as I said yesterday, like I think I'm much happier and I prefer being behind the camera. I just am used to it. I've been doing it for 20 years, whereas being in front of the camera is just so odd for me. Even now presenting, it's just not something I'm used to yet. What's this, like the 26th video I've made or something? So, maybe by 100 videos, because I'm making 100 videos in 100 days. That's still the 31st of December, 2025. And it just turned out that the day I started to shot my first video was 100 days. So that was why I made that random arbitrary goal, because it randomly worked out and it was too even and neat to not go, okay, I'll do that. So yeah, so I don't know. I guess what I want to do beyond this 3-shot thing, like 30-second short, what I want to do beyond that is make a higher quality, like attempt to make a good crowd pleasing short. That's my goal. And I feel like, I'll probably do this documentary first. So over the course of the next, what have I got? 65 days left of making films. These content videos, I'm probably not going to start on it. Maybe I will though. You never know. Maybe I'll just have an idea one night and be like, this is it. And it'll start happening. You don't know. But between now and today's the 20-something of October. And so I've only got 2 months. So I could make a short in that time, but I don't want to rush it. I want to make, something decent. And I'm happy to make little things like what I shot yesterday in the meantime. So maybe I'll make some more narratives. Like I said, I want to do another episode of the web series thing with my kids. So that'll be another short film. But yeah, it'll be fun and interesting if I do it. I'm not putting any pressure on myself to do it because I'm working on the documentary and working on these videos. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, geez, it's a lot of talking about me today. Usually I kind of talk more about ideas, but yeah, I think I don't know. I maybe I can just throw it over to you guys now. This is probably enough of a video for today. Being inside instead of outside in a lovely location, you don't really need to look at a boring, blurry bookcase. But yeah, you know, where are you at? Have any of you guys made a feature film? Have any of you guys made short films? Like I've seen in my 10 years as a teacher, a lot of short films that students have made. But also to show students short films, I've watched a lot of award-winning stuff. Like everything that comes out that I can find online, I'll watch. There's a lot of short films. If you look at websites like Short of the Week, which has got a different name now, I can't even think what it is, but they kind of got picked up by another website. And then, you know, just look at Vimeo's Editor's Choice and even short films on YouTube now, there's just more and more coming out. And I didn't talk before about folk filmmaking, which again feels like it's more about the process of like telling a story. Not that a lot of folk films that I've seen are really strong on their lessons. They're probably more about like, we made a film and it was the right length, you know, like then they were specifically focusing on a theme clearly. Like I think a lot of the idea of folk filmmaking that I've gathered so far is that it's less about trying to follow traditional storytelling structure and traditional ways of making a film and more moving towards like making a film. Like I can do this. I can use the technology I have. I can get my friends. I can get them together. We can, you know, make something that goes for the duration. Like a lot of the, because I've watched, I don't know, 20 or 30 feature films on YouTube this year, like over 40-minute films. And some of them are great, but some of them not the world's most cohesive. They're still always enjoyable to watch though, just because of the energy, you know? And it's like my early feature films. Like I'll edit this documentary and you will see, you know, we did our best to kind of try and deliver a lesson, but I don't think that was spectacular. And that's the thing, when you're not working with everybody being paid, everybody working at a certain level, like you are going to make something a bit more rough. But a lot of the time, that roughness, it has charm. And sometimes you get closer to the real message, you know, like of whatever you are trying to say. So, and there's a few folk films I've seen this year that I've just loved. Like, I don't know if it'd call itself a folk film, but I watched a feature film this year called Agua Donkeys. Genius. So great. It was based on a short film also called Agua Donkeys, but oh my gosh, I just love that film. And yeah, I don't know if those guys would call themselves that. I don't know if they even consider themselves part of the niche, but it was a really great film. I think they shot it in about 6 days and it was fantastic. I loved it. One of my favorite films that I've seen this year at any level. It was just great. So, and yeah, like I said, I watched a lot of Joel Haver's 12 feature films in 12 months from 2024 this year, and a lot of those were just excellent as well. And yeah, you know, like I've definitely seen some good stuff. I could probably name some other things, but I won't. I was just going to say, if you in the comments made a feature film, write a comment. I'll go check it out. Look, because I've been watching folk stuff. If you've made a short film, comment in the comments and I'll click on your profile and have a look at your short film, because I'm just interested in seeing as much stuff as I can while I'm, you know, getting back in this space while I'm on leave. As I said, it's not like I'm having made like, I don't even know, like over 1,000 corporates and TV ads, like a lot professionally in that 10 years I was working. It's not like the technology is as exciting to me as just people trying to tell stories. That is what interests me. And whenever my students make films, I'm always so excited because they're trying to tell a story. They're trying to use the medium of film or video, whatever you want to call it, to, you know, motion pictures to communicate meaning, you know, to tell a story or explore some idea or explore some theme, you know. And that's what interests me the most. So yes, I made a short film trying to get it to, you know, evoke an emotional response. But when you see it, you'll go, that's not a short film because it's so short. And I am no master of that format. So anyway, it's exciting. And like I said, it was for a competition. I said this yesterday in my thing. So if the, once the competition happens, I think then I'm allowed to share it. So I'll share it sometime down the track, or I won't if it sucks. I don't know. I don't think we're going to win with the one I did, but I might do another one because it's not due until the end of October. So I've got a couple more days if I come up with another idea. All right. Weird shooting inside. Yeah, great talking to everyone today. My microphone's just up here, so we'll see if my sound is as good as usual. That's pretty much it. I know I didn't even close the door, so you can probably hear the kids playing video games next door. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow, if it's not raining, I'll be back out and make some more videos. So I'll see everyone in tomorrow's video.